Hey guys, JB here from Alpha Wolf Consulting, coming to you today with the next session in the Alpha Wolf Personal Development and Expansion series. And this session is going to be all about understanding or continuing on our understanding of reprogramming the subconscious mind and expanding out our understanding of the full brain activation practice and how we can use it to explore through our emotions. So yesterday we looked at it at how to use it to navigate or map out or charter our emotions. And now we're going to use it to identify negative emotions or negative aspects, of self that we don't want to portray or continue. And then basically what we're going to do is learn how to let go to it. And we're also going to look at conditioning. So, all of these practices are based around conditioning, meaning the more times we do it, the more often. So, the more regularly and the more intervals that we do it, the stronger the association or the focus or the memory is. So, if we think about memory, memory is just energy. So when I try to remember something, I'm trying to access something through an energetic state. Do you sort of get it? So the less I think about something, the more difficult it is to access. The more I think about something, the easier it is to access because the pathways towards that information or knowledge or that memory is heightened or stronger. It's being developed more. Do you sort of get it? So through conditioning, we're developing the pathways that we want in our brain. So it's effortless for me to be my ideal self, for me to be my authentic self. And it's impossible for me to be anything less. Do you sort of get it? All right. And then we are going to look at this idea of understanding perception and perspective and our conditioned responses in perception and perspective. All right. So, like every session, we're going to start off with some emotional association or emotion, associating emotion to triggers. And like we've done in the last two sessions, the trigger is always our name. Do you sort of get it? I am making my name the most powerful word in the universe, in my universe. Fuck everything else. My name is what I pour my power into. I pour my power into self, not into other, not into external. Do you sort of get it? So everything I'm associating to, or everything that I'm associating or linking to triggers is always going to be a trigger from self. Because motherfucker, in the wilderness, I ain't got Joe, Dick, and Harry to back me up. Do you sort of get it? In a true survival situation, there's only the self. So I may as well make the self the most powerful aspect of me. Do you sort of get it? So we start to see the importance of identifying and structuring our triggers for our psychological and emotional state. So our psychological state are the trigger words that trigger language patterns and narratives, and the emotional state is the emotions and the emotional state and the emotional sensation, the biochemical responses that are triggered. For example, I don't want to think happy thoughts and then feel negative. I don't want to think happy thoughts and feel stress. I want to think happy thoughts and feel dumps and releases of, serotonin and things like that. Like I want to feel what I want to feel. I don't want to be feeling all this other bullshit. Do you sort of get it? All right. So what we are doing is we are going to each session continue to expand upon this initial prayer with every aspect that we add on to it. So, the 2 days ago, we did the self-love. Yesterday, we did the empowerment. And now today, we are going to do letting go. Do you sort of get it? And we are adding them on. And then every day, we practice these three practices as rituals because these are the rituals that build the ideal self. Do you sort of get it? Fuck all the cold plunges, fuck all the bullshit. Like, if breathing is the number one thing that means something to you in life and you need motivation, you're full of shit. Do you sort of get it? So that's what we're conditioning and then creating is within our name is all I need for everything. My identity of self is all I need for everything. Not to say my ego, but it's like, should I feel lonely? Within myself, I can overcome that. Should I feel heartbreak within myself? I can overcome that. Should I feel stress? Should I feel panics within my heart? Sort of like within my heart, I can overcome that. Within myself, I can overcome that. Within the internal, I can overcome that. So it's sort of this realization that should I build up the self to having tools to create self love, having tools to create empowerment, having tools to let go to what is holding me back, what is limiting me. Now I am the ideal self who every morning shows myself love, creates empowerment within myself, and lets go to all that is irrelevant to me. Am I not an ultra performer? Do you sort of get it? Would you want to meet someone like that on the battlefield? Do you sort of get it? Someone who is in the moment, present, not worried about the future, not worried about the past, in the present, in the moment, because they know they have done the work. Do you sort of get it? That's why we condition. Because if I condition, for example, if we take war and battle and all of this, like if every day I am out there and I am training and developing my skills with my weapon of choice, come the day of the battle, like I am not outside of the battle. Do you sort of get it? I am in the battle, moving through the battle. So if we think about it like any aspect of life, any skill, any like goal, whatever it may be, if I'm in sales, okay, and every moment of every day I eat, breathe, and sleep sales. I eat, breathe, and sleep my product. I eat, breathe, and sleep my customers, my ideal clients, my consumers. And that's all I'm consumed by in every interaction with a potential buyer, I am going to come across as a fanatically dedicated person who is in the moment, in control of the moment. Do you sort of get it? When I'm present in the moment, I have control within the moment because I'm able to move out of the way of what I don't want. I am able to lock into what I want. Do you sort of get it? So it's very important that we understand this because this is what the practice entails. So it's a every day for 10 minutes we do like each of these activities, okay? And it's just about repetition. It's about association. Pavlov's dog. The more I do it, the stronger the associational bond. The stronger the associational bond, the stronger the biochemical release or the emotional trigger. Do you sort of get it? So when I truly, truly, truly believe that I love myself, then when I say to myself, I love you, the love I feel is the most powerful love. And the only way we develop this is like developing any muscle. We just fucking work out and we do repetitions of sets. Do you sort of get it? All right. So these are workouts for the mind and the soul and the spirit. Do you sort of get it? The conscious and unconscious mind. That's what we're working out. And we are every day committing to work out our conscious and unconscious mind because the more I work out my conscious and unconscious mind, the stronger my unconscious and conscious mind are. The more in power and control I am because in every moment I am present. I am not worried. I am not focused on the future. I am not focused on the past. I am focused on the current moment. Do you sort of get it? When I have this ability, I have the ability of clarity and foresight to be able to see reality for what it is. That should I be in sales, the more I invest into practicing and training and conditioning in who I am, the stronger of a presence I will have in every interaction, because I am not someone who plays around with this. I am not someone that dabbles. I am someone that is all in. I am someone who is focused, who knows, who sees. Do you sort of get it? That sort of power and control is the kind of power and control that comforts people when they know they don't have to worry about things because there are competent and capable people who have it. So it's like, for example, if we take an extreme example, let's say you're in a domestic violence thing, right? And there's a fight or whatever's happening, and you call the police, and the police are too timid and afraid of confrontation. So they stand at the door and they sort of, in a low voice, hey, is everything okay, guys? Like, how fucking secure and safe are you going to feel? So we start to understand that it isn't through dominating and controlling the environment that we create the positive sensations of power and control. It is only through being present in the environment. Do you sort of get it? Yeah, very important to get this, because the only way we can achieve this level is through prior preparation. Otherwise, what happens is we naturally go into states of shock and confusion. Do you sort of get it? When I'm ready for hard conversation, should you come up and need to have a hard conversation, like there's no preparation time. Do you sort of get it? I don't need to prepare. I'm already prepared. Like I'm good to have a hard conversation. Do you sort of get it? So it's like, but if I'm not prepared to have hard conversations in life, well, should someone come up and have a hard conversation with me, it causes instincts of, I need to find safety, I need to find security, I'm insecure, all of this. Do you sort of get it? All right. So we start this practice. We're going to start with self-love. And just remember, while I only do it a couple of times, the goal is to do it for 10 minutes and to try and do hundreds to thousands of repetitions per day. Do you sort of get it? If you get up into the thousands of repetitions per day, after a couple of days, you don't even have to ever do it again because it runs in your subconscious. Do you sort of get it? Like, for example, if I learn how to ride a bike, I don't have to go out and practice ever again. All I do is get on a bike, and every time I'm on the bike, I'm learning. So when I curate and structure my subconscious mind, I don't have to go in there and worry about it again. Do you sort of get it? Because once it's structured, my subconscious mind will self-regulate. Do you sort of get it? It will take directions. All right. So, like anything, full brain activation process is simple. Right hand, left hemisphere. Left hand, right hemisphere. Job done. Now we've activated the full brain. Okay, we've activated both hemispheres. So we do the opposite foot at the top and we cross our legs. And basically now we have our left foot on the top, crossed over on our legs, and our right hand on the top, crossed over on our arms. So we're in the position. So now my full brain is activated. And the secret here is whatever I do here, I'm in my most potent and like powerful state. Do you sort of get it? I have full access to my conscious and unconscious mind. I have full access to anything. My memory is better. My ability to make decisions and think clearly, my ability to analyze and see information, my ability to recall key information, to make assumption. Well, not assumptions, but to piece data together, to see patterns and trends. Do you sort of get it? Very powerful state. This is the state where the human mind is at its peak of potential. Do you sort of get it? The only way we can get a higher state like this is through using breath work to artificially dump adrenaline into the blood. That'll activate it a lot more. But basically, what we're doing is we're doing our self love. So we just realize, as a side note, When I sit in this position, I can sit here and have conversations with myself. I can sit here and think about my day's problems. I can think about any problem that I may have, and I will find a full solution. And should that problem be an emotional problem, i.e., love, so if I had to have a hard conversation in love and talk about emotions, well, this would be the positioning and the posture that I would hold. Why? Because I have conscious access to my emotions and I understand them. Therefore, I'm in control of them. When I don't have conscious action access to my emotions, my emotional aspect of my mind, my subconscious, is irrational. It's illogical. Do you sort of get it? If I feel fear, it can be a one or a thousand. It doesn't feel any different. Do you sort of get it? Like, it doesn't make sense what causes me to feel a fear at a thousand or to feel a fear at one. Do you sort of get it? It can be irrational, illogical. So we just understand when I'm in the full brain activation, now I have logic within my subconscious. My emotions become a lot calmer because they're based on logic and reason. Do you sort of get it? Very important to understand this because not many people realize. So they go and they associate chaos and conflict to their emotions because where they find themselves is always trying to address their emotions in the like eye of the storm, in the middle of the storm. When I feel good, I'm going to travel out into the storm because I'll be able to handle it. If I just do full brain activation, I take the storm and it becomes calm because now I am the one dictating the weather. Do you sort of get it? So if I feel heartbroken, if I feel emotional, if I feel lost, if I feel all these negative emotions, well, now it's why am I feeling these negative emotions? What is causing me to feel them and is it real? If someone doesn't want to be with me and I feel heartbreak and loss and all of this, why? Do you sort of get it? Is it that I'm over leveraged in the individual and not the experience of love? Is it that I'm focused in on my ego of how I want it to be rather than just flowing with life and how it is? Do you sort of see? I'm able to explore them. I'm able to understand why rather than focusing in on, I feel lost, I feel heartbroken, I'll never feel love again, and all of this. All right. So we're going to jump in and start off with the self-validation, or not self-validation, but the self-love. So we remember it as just being our name. So we say our name, and the reason we have spaces in between it, in between the name, the language pattern, and the emotional sensation, is just so we clearly define the movements and the experiential shifts. Do you sort of get it? If I'm trying to sort of have them all simultaneously run, well, that happens unconsciously. It happens faster than I can trigger it. So I'm artificially slowing it down so that I can experience it. And when I've done it or conditioned it in, what happens is that it runs unconsciously. I don't even notice it running. So, for example, if you say, Justin, like I love you ran without even me needing to even hear the thought of it. It's just the experience of knowing that I love myself. Do you sort of get it? So I feel love every time I say my name. Do you sort of get it? There's subconscious routines or um, like triggers happening. Okay, it's all happening within the subconscious, but it's outside of my need to focus on it. Do you sort of see how this can make assigning layers of data to single words easier so that I don't need to consciously think about the information? Do you sort of get it? So if I'm able to translate complex information into a single trigger word, but I'm able to understand it and condition the language into my subconscious, or the narrative or the language pattern, and I strengthen that synaptic pathway and I associate the emotion, then when I hear the trigger word, the memory comes back. Do you sort of get it? So I can do this with complex information that I would like to memorize, and I'm storing it, but associating an emotional response or an emotional trigger to access it. So rather than me trying to remember, all I have to do is get into emotional states and the memory comes. Do you sort of get it? It makes life very, very easy to do very, very complex things, but it also makes it easier to take complex ideas and simplify them out for the internal. And then we map it. And if we wanted to teach someone, we teach someone the process, because it's the process of accessing the information. Because once I read the information once, I've memorized it. Do you sort of get it? Like we all have photographic memories. It's just the majority of us don't pay attention to it. Like we don't use it for the right thing. So think about it like this. Think back to the last 6 months of your life, and there will be memories that you will be able to access, and there will be memories that you won't be able to access. And we think about it like I forgot them, and it's not that. It's that it's irrelevant information. If I told you what you ate 36 days ago, does it really make any difference? Like if you're starving right now, is it going to make you feel full? Probably not. Is it going to help you in any way? Probably not. Is it really relevant to understand or hold that information? Not really. So we understand that memory retention and association to memory is meaning and emotions. That's how we do it. So the more something means to me, i.e., the more valuable or value I associate to it as it holding importance, the stronger or the more energy I associate to the memory retention. Okay, and the energy is just the development of the synaptic or the neural pathway. Do you sort of get it? So the more important something is, the easier it is to access, because the development of the synaptic pathway to access it is quite advanced in comparison to something that I don't think is relevant. Do you sort of get it? Whereas, for example, if I associate emotion, so like for example, what emotion would I want to have if I was studying for let's say a law exam, and I wanted to associate like I wanted to use an emotion to associate information. Do you sort of get it? What emotion would I want to have? And that's the state that I get myself into, because in that state, so for example, an easy way to do this is empowerment. So when we're in an empowered state of mind, or an empowered sort of, because you think about it like this, when you're learning, when you're understanding, when you're consuming new and sort of exploring new ideas, what happens is like think about the emotional and the sensational experience of it when you get something that you didn't get before. It's a state of empowerment. That information is locked into that state. Do you sort of get it? When we're learning, we're empowering ourselves, so we're putting ourselves into it. Now if I'm always stressed and anxious while I'm learning, which emotion do you think all the information's stored under? Do you sort of get it? So, like, the way to access it is through stress and anxiety. Do you sort of get it? Because I'm conditioning my mind to associate this information with this emotional state. Do you sort of get it? So now what I'm able to do is categorize my internal memory or memory retention to have different forms of memory associated to different emotional states. Do you sort of get it? All of my fighting and aggression is associated to fear response, like to the emotion of fear. So the more afraid I become, the more access to past memory of fighting, moves of how to defend yourself, of different things to do. Do you sort of get it? So as I become fearful or afraid in any situation, my aggression increases because all of the information on how to defend myself from different threats becomes present. I become more alert. Do you sort of get it? Do you see how the brain associates key information or key memory or key skills or key sensory experiences to like specific things? So, like, for example, if I'm in a really, really happy moment and I'm really happy and I'm at a celebration or a party, I'm not really focused on too much. I'm focused on exactly what I'm doing, but I'm sort of oblivious to the external environment or the external party outside of my sphere of awareness. Do you sort of get it? So it's like if we thought about a party and there was five different tables. I'm not sitting there wondering what other people at other tables are doing. If I'm having a very, very exciting and fun conversation and engaging conversation and things like that. Do you sort of get it? Like my perception of my environment in states of joy and happiness don't need to be there. So, fun fact, if I want to improve productivity, if I lower stress and anxiety, I'm able to focus more because I don't need to focus on the external environment. I can focus on what I'm doing. Do you sort of see it? If I'm stressed and anxious, I'm going to be observant and noticing everything around me, because those emotions trigger that biochemical or that behavioral response. Do you sort of get it? All right. So that sort of took us a bit out of where we were going, but we understand it now. So we're going to go back and we're going to finish off doing the practice. All right. So the association is your name. So my name, Justin, I love you. And then we feel the emotion. And all we're trying to do at the start when we do multiple times, so all you have to do is think of it in your head, and it's just that process. Your name, second delay, I love you, second delay, feel the emotion. And the first few, what we're trying to do is we're trying to feel and sort of connect to the frequency that we're trying to associate. So the frequency of love or self-love. So Justin, I love you. Justin, I love you. Then we lock it in. And we can do this however we want to do it. The point is to keep focused attention on that process or sequence. We want to look at it. So we could write it down on a piece of paper and put it on the wall if we wanted to and stare at it, or we can try and sort of memorize and focus on the sequence. It's sort of like this. If you think about it like this, if we're playing football and you've never played football before, like the longer you focus on football, the more you understand, the more you start to get it, the more you start to see. That's what we're doing. We're just focusing on it and looking at it and practicing it. So, Justin, I love you. And all we're focusing on is the sensation. And think about it like this: with my thoughts, my emotions, with my breath, with my focus, I have a spanner and a whatever other tool in my hand, and all I'm doing is fine tuning. Every time I run the cycle or the process, I'm analyzing how it felt to me and the experience that I'm having with it. And then basically, I'm refining it, amplifying the love I feel, refining it, sort of like defining it to what it is, to what it needs to be, and just feeling that emotion and really locking that emotion with what I have associated it to be. So, for example, for this practice, for me, it's about self love. So, I'm not thinking about romantic love. I'm not thinking about, platonic love. I'm thinking about love from self to self. Do you sort of get it? And that's what we're channeling. Justin, I love you. And we can even do it like a light meditation as well, where we run it and then we just observe in mindfulness, in mindlessness, that I'm just observing the experiences that are a result of me saying that. I'm experiencing the emotions of me saying that. I'm just being mindful and aware and present within it. And the more I do this, the more comfortable I become within it. And the more I'm getting to feel it. So it doesn't matter what happens in life right now, where I'm sitting, what I'm doing, all I feel is self love. So it doesn't matter about anything in the external environment right now. If my goal is to feel self love, I have achieved everything. Do you sort of get it? Like we let go to the need for anything to be, and we just realize what I seek in life is only found within me. When I find what I want in life, nothing external to me matters. It's irrelevant. Do you sort of get it? Because what happens tomorrow, what happens next week, what's happened last week, all it's going to do is muddle up this sensation or experience. So if my goal is to feel self-love, it's irrelevant if something happened last week or if something's going to happen next week. Like right now, I'm achieving everything that I want. So it's as long as I want to consciously choose to feel self-love over everything else, that I feel self-love. Should I choose to feel fear and insecurity and all that? I can feel fear and insecurity. Do you sort of get it? Like whatever I choose is going to be the outcome. My mind doesn't give a fuck. It's the ego that's thinking of the future and the past. So we let go to that and we're in the present. We're in this moment. And in this moment, if love and self love is what we're after, all I have to do is say, Justin, I love you, and then feel it. Do you sort of get it? So it's very important that we start to understand this, that the clearer I become on what I seek within myself in every moment, the easier it is for me to attain or achieve whatever I want in any moment. Do you sort of get it? So the more willing I am to define what I want, what means something to me in this life, what means something to me in this experience, will determine the level to which I pursue it, the level to which I feel it. So I have to be willing to believe that should I seek self love and I'm feeling self love in this moment, there is nothing more. There is no external validation that could override this sensational feeling. This sensational feeling overrides any external validation. Do you sort of get it? So if I'm thinking in terms of sort of getting into an empowered state, like nothing else really matters because if I'm deciding that I want to be in an empowered state and I do the practice of empowering myself and triggering the emotional state of empowerment, once I'm in the state of empowerment, there is no external validation that's going to make it more potent, more powerful. Do you sort of get it? Like getting sales, you know, like achieving goals aren't going to trump this sensation of feeling empowered right now. Do you sort of get it? So if I feel empowered, should I close $1 million deal? Should I close a $10 deal? It doesn't really matter. Like that empowerment is the same. So should I see a $10 deal as a $10 million deal and $1 million deal as a $10 deal? Like, do you sort of get it? It doesn't really matter. The empowerment is the choice to either I can amplify it, the feeling of empowerment, or I can disempower it. I can diminish it. Do you sort of get it? So if I start acting like I should have been further, I should have been this, I should have been that, I should have got this, I should have got that, this should have happened, that should have happened, I'm disempowering myself back down to a lower frequency of being disempowered because, like, no matter what happens, no matter how it goes, that is the process that I'm running. Should I see every little action or every breath in my life, in my day, as being a $10 million deal that I have closed? Every breath I take keeps amplifying it. Do you sort of get it? So we start to see perspective. Perspective isn't logical when we're talking about emotional states. So if we're thinking about empowerment, me selling something for $10, me selling something for $10 million, like if my perspective is used to selling things for $100 million, $10 million isn't anything. It's nothing worthwhile. Do you sort of get it? So it's the perception and perspective to where I allocate the emotions that I feel. So if I allocate my empowerment to the smallest actions empower me. If I associate my empowerment to the largest actions, no action but the largest action will ever empower me. And if I get the largest action today, for me to ever feel like empowered again, I have to double it. I have to triple it. I have to do more, 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 more. Sorry. Do you sort of get it? When I'm in that mindset, I'm disempowering everything external to that 1 second of achievement. When the smallest things empower me, every step along the path is a hit. Do you sort of get it? So we start to see that should I find that I'm in a state of disempowerment, that I am the one that disempowers myself through my perspective, the simplest source or way of fixing that is just reallocating it. So breaking down and simplifying your meaning and what you value in life. Do you sort of get it? Because my perception is based off what means something to me and what I value. That's how I see the world around me. That's how I see reality. I can't see every aspect of reality. Do you sort of get it? I can't see every blade of grass on the lawn, but I can see the one that sticks out to me. Do you sort of get it? I can see the ones that I notice, but I cannot see all of them. Do you understand? So when we're moving through life, we realize, should I find that my perception or perspective within my current sort of way of being or way of experiencing life, if it's something that negatively detracts from me and who I am and how I experience or feel, well, it's not going to lead me to the ideal outcome. Do you sort of get it? Being afraid of being poor isn't going to make me rich. It's going to make me have an unhealthy obsession with money. Not to say that we can't overcome that, because we think about it in terms of if we were to look at people who obtain wealth and things like that, like there's usually a period where it sort of becomes unmanageable and they have to learn how to manage it. Do you sort of get it? That should I be desperately poor my whole life and then I come into money, like, do you sort of get it? How is that going to affect me? Am I going to like create these unhealthy associations to money and the value of money within me to where my money is a representation of my worth? Do you sort of get it? So, like, I become very, very protective of my money because it's an aspect of me. And then I create stagnancy within my money. Do you sort of get it? I become tired. I cease doing things. You know, I limit my experience of life or how I want to experience life based on unhealthy obsessions with money. And then there's other ways that people go where they lose control because the money means they don't need to control anymore. Do you sort of get it? So think about like rock and roll, like musicians and things like that, where some of them, the money goes too much to them to where like they don't have to sort of, so to speak, for a time being, they believe they don't have to take care or responsibility for the consequences of their actions and behaviors. So, like, I can drink, I can smoke, I can eat unhealthy food, I can do this, I can do that. Do you know what I mean? And if we look at the 70s and the 80s, we saw a lot of it in the 70s with heroin and things like that, where a lot of people, you know, they flew too close to the sun and ended up burning. Do you know what I mean? So we just realized that it's not the aspect of money that becomes unhealthy. It's the, so to speak, the thought patterns or the emotional sort of associations around money. Do you know what I mean? Like if we see money as a tool, well, it doesn't really like represent my value, but it represents my ability of output. Do you know what I mean? So, like, for example, if we take a commodity based business, do you know what I mean? And then we take an investment business. Like, an investment business is like their portfolio and the amount that they've got invested within their portfolio is the value of the business. Where a commodity based business, the liquidity or the ability for that business to sort of interact with customers and things like that. And we could see something like Amazon. So Amazon would be a commodity based business, whereas something like an investment fund wouldn't be. So, like, for example, if an investment fund is there making trades every minute of every day and getting new customers and losing customers, getting new customers, losing customers, like their portfolios would be so volatile, constantly moving up and down. And their portfolio in terms of their working clients and capital under management. So for them, the value comes in the stability of having it. Do you know what I mean? If we're always having to move into different investments, if we're always having to move into different portfolios, if we're always having to react to the market, we're not very good as an investment firm. But when we're able to predict, so to speak, the market and create comprehensive sort of strategies on how to position money in the market and how to move it sort of effectively. So I might look in and see that, oh, EV or electric vehicle sales are going up and projected to go up 200% over the next 2 years. Okay, I can invest into, these sort of businesses that are going to see security for the next 2 years. Do you sort of get it? So it's very important to understand this because if I'm treating everything in my life as if it's a commodity, if I'm treating myself as if I'm a commodity. Do you sort of get it? Like, if I'm treating who I am and I'm acting like Amazon, where anyone can, you know, be a part of it, anyone can jump on board, like that creates a lot more volatility within my emotional state. So we want to have a more fixed position to where I'm more selective with where I invest my emotions. Do you sort of get it? So we could look at it for love, we could look at it for business. Like if I'm out there reacting to every opportunity or business or something like that, I don't have enough focus to attend or attention to put into one idea to make it go well. I'm only scratching the surface of 20 or 30 different ideas. Do you sort of get it? So like in life, when I want to achieve what I want in life, and not even what I want. When I just want to achieve in life, it's about focusing in on one thing. I.e., if I want love in life, dating 30 people at a time probably ain't going to get me there. Do you sort of see? Like, if I want love in life, like love, not this idea of toxicity. Like, wouldn't I date one person at a time so I can understand if I love them or not? Like, if I'm dating 5, 10, 20, 30, 40, however many people, do you sort of get it? And we could see dating as being a plethora of things. If I'm entertaining multiple options, how do I know who is the right one? How do I even know what love is? How do I even know what truth is? Do you sort of see? So it's like this idea that by focusing in, I'm able to now associate the meaning and the right sort of energy to it, to where it's like in dating, if it doesn't work out, like all those other options haven't gone away. It's just we're not muddling up our energy. We're keeping it focused and clarified. So it's like in business, if I go all in on one approach at the expense of the 20 other approaches I could take, if this doesn't work, like they still exist. Do you sort of get it? So it's just this idea between me trying to do everything, okay, or me just doing one thing at a time until I find what I want. Do you sort of get it? Makes it far easier, makes it a lot less messy and a lot less chaotic. Because could you imagine trying to run or operate just three different businesses and trying to allocate the time, trying to allocate the focus? Do you sort of get it? So a lot of us do this in life where we're trying to control everything at the expense of doing one thing. Do you sort of get it? I'm trying to make my life perfect before I start living my life, before I start creating my life. I want to reach material success before I become who I want to be in this life. Do you sort of get it? Like, I don't reach material success until I become who I want to be in this life. Material success is a byproduct of it because material success is only ever defined through it. Do you sort of get it? If I don't ever become who I want to be in life, I may say I want money, but does my behavior say I want money? Do my actions? Do you sort of get it? Maybe I say I really want to be money. I want money. I want to be rich, and then I'm going to waste all my money on $1 million cars, $100,000 cars, thousands of dollars in gambling, blah 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 blah. Like I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to me. Do you sort of get it? Like if I wanted to be wealthy, like would I go to a casino and gamble $7 to $10 million? Like, is that what wealthy means? Would I go out there and buy hundreds of thousands of dollars of jewelry that's only going to depreciate because it's custom made and it's a higher markup, it's a premium price? Do you know what I mean? Am I going to buy cars that depreciate in value? Do you sort of get it? Like, if I haven't become wealthy within myself, well, I'm going to take all these actions, and no matter how much wealth I obtain, I'm going to blow through it because there's in alignment. So we understand achieving the material success doesn't mean anything unless I become who I'm seeking, unless I become the person who I want to be in life, because only then do I understand what material success means to me. Do you sort of get it? So it's like the more I understand what material success means to me, the more I understand where I'm at in life. Do you sort of get it? For example, if we're doing these practices of self-love and I'm not quite feeling the material success of self-love, like, do you sort of get it? Like, what am I meant to be feeling? Why am I not feeling it? Do you know what I mean? If I do a practice of self-love and I'm not feeling the self-love, I'm not feeling that I've achieved or succeeded in developing self-love within myself. Like, do I know what self-love looks like? Do I have an egotistical idea of what it should be, how it should be? Do you know what I mean? Like we all have these things. And it's just like it's egotistical because it's sort of like I'm trying to dictate and control what should be rather than what is. Do you know what I mean? It's like if we were out driving and you rear end me and I just go, it's not meant to happen this way. You're not meant to do that. You blah 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 blah. What the hell happened here? What the and I start losing my mind. It's sort of like, you know what I mean? Like if I'm sitting there going, this was never meant to be, it was meant to be like this, it was meant to be like that, you were meant to be back there, you were meant to do this, you were meant to do, like how fucking egotistical do I sound like? Because I'm trying to dictate how it should have been rather than how it fucking is. Do you sort of get it? I'm delusional. So we understand that there are ideals, but when my ego tries to make those ideals reality, that's where the disillusion happens. So when I meet someone and I say, this is the person I want to be with for the rest of my life, whatever it may be, do you sort of get it? And I'm saying that this is it. Like, how egotistical am I? Do you sort of get it? Like, have I seen that person in truth? Have I seen that person in full? Do you know what I mean? Do I have I met everyone that was there to meet? Do you sort of get it? The ego creates these unrealistic expectations of how things should have been at the absence or absent of reality of where things are. Do you sort of get it? So if I'm creating these egotistical ideas that I can't find self-love or I can't feel self-love unless I have something to prove for it, something to offer myself for it. Do you sort of get it? Many ways we do these sort of things to ourselves where we create these unrealistic expectations of how things have to be. And if they don't go that way, I don't get to feel how I want to feel. Do you sort of get it? So we want to work through and we want to start creating some practices to eliminate these ways of thinking or these ideas. Okay. So when I notice things like, for example, if I'm if I'm dating, if I'm in relationships, whatever it may be, like if I'm out there and I'm trying to find the person who I look for in life and I follow or am exposed to just constant repeating cycles, if my behavior or my behavioral manifestations this always happens. I don't know what happens, but I always just end up here. It's sort of like if I'm unwilling to ever acknowledge that I'm even here, do you sort of get it? I'll never do anything. So, what we have to work out is if I'm feeling like in any situation, if I'm feeling like anything in life, I'm not where I want to be, like things just don't go how they were meant to be. Evidently, in between me having the thought and me having the ending, do you sort of get it? There's something misaligned. There's negative behaviors, negative or toxic traits. There's something in the middle. Because if I have clarity in the beginning of what I want in life, and then I go out and I try and do it, but it always ends up completely different to how I saw it, there's a misalignment between my actions and my thoughts. Do you sort of get it? So it's sort of like I feel really confident in all of this, and then I meet someone, and then I'm just a blubbering mess. insecure, lacking confidence, low self-belief, low self-worth, and it just always happens. Like, just realize there's subconscious triggers and narratives that are creating it. Do you sort of get it? There's all these different beliefs in between it. So the way to overcome this is just by overcoming the negative emotions and reassigning them and transmuting them into positive emotions. Do you sort of get it? If I've been through this cycle 1,000 times, I've been through this event 1,000 times, there's always going to be a positive, even if it's 1,001st time. I now see the idiocracy of my approach. Do you sort of get it? It's never too late to realize you're headbutting a brick wall in life. Do you sort of get it? You can pretend like I've been doing this 1,000 times, so I'm pretty committed to this. Or you can just realize, like, hey, I've headbutted this 1,000 times. It's not changing the outcome. Maybe I need to change the approach. Do you sort of get it? So, in anything in life, we do the full brain activation practice. And what we want to do is we want to just sorry, start working through negative emotions, okay? So we want to work through and just realize or talk our way through negative emotions we may feel. So like let's say we've been through a breakup and we're feeling heartbroken and all of this. Okay, so we're just sitting there and we're just exploring it. And you just explore it in thought and talk with yourself, just like how I'm doing it, where you're sort of just having a conversation with yourself. And then you allow yourself to sort of tell you stuff that you don't understand or information that you don't understand. And the easiest way to understand this is that I don't consciously think about what I talk about. I don't consciously try and tell myself what's wrong with me. I start talking through it and then I start looking at all the different aspects of the situation, of whatever it may be. If I feel heartbreak, I'm looking at heartbreak from all the different angles and just trying to see it. And I'm talking myself through and just pointing out things and getting myself to reconfirm them to me. So if I feel heartbreak, why do I feel heartbreak? If something ended, why did it end? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it about the heartbreak that upsets me? Is it that I'm focused in on, you know, this person? Did I create a codependent bond with someone? Did I cause or create a trauma bond with someone? Like, was it an unhealthy bonding that I did? Do you sort of get it? And then when we're looking at it, then we're starting to realize, do you know what I mean? Well, if this was unhealthy, that I became codependent for this, like what would be the alternative approach? If I was going to do this again, how would I do it? Do you know what I mean? So if in a relationship I became insecure or something like that, and I didn't feel confident or have belief or self-worth within myself, like what would be the alternative path? So if I was to go through that situation again of, interacting with that person and I started to feel insecure, what would be the way to overcome that? Do you know what I mean? So if I started feeling like I don't know if who I am is someone who, if others are going to accept who I am, and we just realize it, and what would be the alternative? So, like, if others didn't accept who I am in love and I put myself out there, like, even if that happened, like, would I still love myself? Would I still accept myself? And then, sort of like, that's the worst case scenario, that they don't feel that way, that they don't reciprocate it, that they don't accept it. It's sort of like, well, what would happen if that didn't happen? If it didn't go worst case and it went best case, like what is the alternative? So, like, for example, if we take that same thing of someone not accepting us or a fear of not being accepted, what would it feel like if I was accepted? What would it feel like if other people accepted me in love? What if I was secure or I was my authentic self in, this relationship, in this interaction, whatever it may be? It's sort of like if I was that authentic person, that authentic aspect of me, what would happen if someone accepted that? How would I feel? What would I feel? And then that's what we focus in on. We now have the first path forward. Do you sort of get it? When I feel insecure that people won't accept me, how magical it is when they do, and how amazing it is that even if they don't, I accept me still. Is there an option of losing? Should I feel fear? Should I feel doubt? Not really. Nothing can really happen. Do you sort of get it? So we move on to the next one. And let's say we had a fear of rejection. What does that feel like? Like, what is rejection? How does it make me feel? Why does it make me feel this way? What am I afraid of in rejection? Am I afraid that when others reject me, others will see and then reject me as a consequence? Others won't accept me because some reject me. I won't accept me because some reject me. We just feel it. And should I be in love with someone and I speak my truth to them? What would happen if they rejected me? Would it hurt? How would it feel? Now, what would happen in that moment if I didn't reject me? If I accepted me? Would it hurt? Like, it probably would suck, but I'd start to understand it a bit deeper that, like, hey, maybe it's just not the right thing for me. But what would happen if I was to speak my truth, be honest? And even though I fear rejection, what would happen if that person didn't reject me? How would I feel? What would be the emotions that I feel in life? What would be the emotions that I feel in the moment of not being rejected, of being accepted fully? How would I feel? Would I feel empowered? Would I feel unstoppable, untouchable? Would I have worth within myself? Do you start to see? So we're working through these negative emotions and we're understanding the emotion for what it is. If I fear rejection, like I understand what rejection is. Do you sort of get it? And then I focus in on what could it be? If the negative, we understand what the negative aspect of rejection is. It, if that if that situation didn't happen, what would be the outcome? What would be the opposing outcome? So if I didn't get rejected by, let's say, the love of my life, and I spoke my authentic truth to them and they didn't reject me, it's like, what would that feel like? Because now we have the marker moving forward that I seek. That's what I seek in a relationship. Do you know what I mean? To be free to speak my mind without fear of rejection. Do you sort of get it? Anything less than that, and I don't want it because I don't want that anymore. This is what I want. I've seen it. It's real. It's within me. Do you sort of get it? And then how easy is it to be my authentic self? How easy is it to move through and sort of understand how irrelevant the fear was? Do you sort of get it? How irrelevant me fearing rejection was, because should I choose not to acknowledge the negative aspect as being negative? And I accept that even if you reject me, I'm still not going to reject myself. I'll accept myself. Like that, that ideal of what it could be has such a multiplier that you could spit in my face and reject me, and still, I'm going to be my authentic self next time to the next person. Do you sort of get it? Because the outcome, if it works out, if things align, if it goes good, like that is the ideal outcome. And whatever I focus on, I reach. Whatever I focus on, I get. Do you sort of get it? So if I'm always seeing the negative of the rejection, I'm always going to get rejected. If I'm always seeing that the rejection doesn't exist and I want acceptance and whatever, like that's all I'm going to achieve because I'm not even going to take notice of anything that is anything other than that. It's not really relevant. Like if someone rejects me, that's okay. It just means they're meant for someone else. It's no stress. Do you know what I mean? But the moment that they don't, or the moment that that person doesn't, do you sort of get it? It makes it worthwhile. So, like when I always have these alternative paths, or I create these alternative paths for me to overcome what causes fear or insecurity within me, now I'm able to start creating myself, to creating that the actions that I want to take to make me feel secure, to make me feel confident. Do you sort of get it? If I speak to people without fear of rejection and I speak to them with acceptance that I accept me and it's okay if they don't accept me, like how fearless do I sound when I speak? How fearless am I when I say what I mean? Do you sort of get it? Like I'm able to be freely me because even the worst case scenario isn't that bad. Do you sort of get it? And it alters that perception to where instead of me looking at relationships that I go into as being all the potential ways someone can hurt me, now I see all the potential ways that I can create the ideal relationship from any relationship. Do you sort of get it? Very important because when we shift this focus, and while it works for relationships, it works for everything, career, whatever, business, personal development, exercise, whatever. But we're going to stay on relationship because it's an easy one to understand. But when I become the person who sees what I want to create within a connection with other people, I'm no longer focused on the destruction, for I see the creation. Do you sort of get it? All right. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks so much. Bye.